Okay, there's an important study that came out this week. I think is really important. Education is so important in our society, and the cost is going through the roof, and it's stopping people from really getting the education they need. And what this study says is something I've really never seen so definitive before in all the data that's come out about the value of college. And this says that, it's stupid to go to Harvard, or any high-class, high-paying or high-cost school. I mean, it doesn't pay to go to Harvard. It's not worth it. And this study is quite comprehensive. It studied like 30,000 college graduates from 1959 to present, and it evaluated their life after they went to college. Now, how good their life was, and not only money, but evaluate how much money they make, how's their social well-being, as they call it, their purpose well-being. Are they doing something worthwhile in life? Their community well-being, and even their physical well-being. So it really judges the whole person, their outcome, in life, how well they did in life, and they matched it up with what kind of college they went to. And the most amazing thing, you do just as well in life if you went to Harvard or if you went to Podunk U out in the middle of nowhere. So that means you could be saving yourself $100,000 and having the same outcome in life. And the other thing it shows is that debt, the higher you have debt from college, the worse your life is. That's amazing, because so many people are going into debt to get a college degree because they think that it's important. And this data shows absolutely. Look at these statistics here. Well, first of all, the name of the study. You want to Google it, get the facts. Don't trust one huckster like me telling you about this. You could find out about all the details of this study by just Googling Great Jobs, Great Life. And it's a study 2014 by Gallup and Purdue University. Great Jobs, Great Life. Okay, here's the two basic graphs in here. You see all graduates, thriving well-being. Okay, they're the most, you have the most successful life or not in all these categories. And for all graduates, it's like 11%. That's how many have a perfect life in every category. So 11%. But it's the same for public school. It's the same for a private not-for-profit school, like Harvard and things like that. So whether you go to a public university or you go to Harvard, it's the same success rate. That's what's amazing. If you go to a very selective public school or a very selective private school, it's almost the same. But even if you go to one of the best schools in the country, ranked by U.S. World Report, it's the same. It doesn't matter. That's right. Except there's one exception, and that's private for-profit universities. The universities that are private companies, and there's a lot of them on the New York Stock Exchange making a lot of money out of this. And if you go to one of them, you have a lousier life outcome versus all the other universities. And that's significant to me, because they're making a lot of money because they're making you get a loan to go to their school. They make 80-90% of all their money comes from government subsidized money. So that's why it's important, I think, to know the data. It's so we chase things, we don't know why we're chasing them, in our lives, because somebody else says it's cool, and so we want to be part of the cool kids or whatever. But when you get the data and you see the people who go to these places have no more success in life than people who don't, man, and this is data of 30,000 people. So that's very important. Now, here's the other thing, the debt. Now, look at this graph. Okay, how successful are you? Or you're depending on how much debt you have, what is your well-being for that? Okay, if you have no debt from college, you have a more successful overall life in everything. That means your social life, your financial life, your physical life, how healthy you are, all these kinds of things. These people work like hell doing this study. With no debt. The higher debt you have, the less success you have in your life after college. I mean, to me, the phenomenal statistics, and I'm sure there's some flaws in the data or everything, and you can find outliers and stuff like that. But other data I've seen before sort of match up. There was a wonderful study done a few years back about the income from going to a prestigious university. And you can't just take everybody went to Harvard, what's their income is 10 years later, and everyone go to Podunk University, what their income is, because they're different people, right? But what they did a study on the people who accepted to Harvard and Podunk, but they went to Podunk instead. So they could have gone either. And those people had the same income after, like 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, after going to Podunk when they were accepted in Harvard. So, I mean, that is pretty telling. That's why, I mean, it seems to me education is so important in our society, and we're putting people in debt, that going to places that aren't worth it, is the most important thing. So what to do, I think, if you're thinking about more higher education, you do. I mean, I think about it even myself all the time at my age. I got to live another 20 years. I want to be prepared. So the first thing you do, I think there's 3 things you should think about. One is, don't go to a for-profit college. I mean, this data really proves that. Okay, so that's one. You strike that off the list. Next is you sacrifice as much as you can and all the other requirements in life, so you don't have that college debt, whatever it is. You're going to get a part-time job, you're going to do, you want to stay away from that college debt, because that's going to hurt you for the rest of your life. Okay, the third thing I think you must do is, before you go, if you want to go to Harvard, whatever the university it is, first check your local community college. Because they have so many great programs, either a 2-year program, 1-year program. The tuition is only $1,000. You don't have to pay $50,000. So maybe you spend 2 years there, and then go somewhere else, to somewhere that has the real thing you need, and you get all the those junky courses you got to take out of the way at no cost. Or there's other things. You get a 2-year course, and then start a job at $50,000. And that could cost you nothing, because they have money to pay for that. Things like that. Or maybe you can take just a 3-month course. And start a whole new career, on a technical career that's really in demand, and only takes a few months. That's why those community colleges, I think, are the first place to touch base, no matter what you're thinking about, for the first time you got in higher education, or even going back to higher education. And you could look at this website, AACC, American Association of Community Colleges, .nche.edu. That's AACC.nche.edu, right? Education is important, but it's not worth ruining your life to get it. There's a new report out that shows that for the last 30 years, America has been going downhill in entrepreneurism. Now, what does that mean to us? Well, I mean, I think it's a terrible thing that's happening, because it's small businesses that are creating the jobs in our country. And it's not just small businesses, it's new small businesses. I mean, the data used to be, everybody said, oh, small businesses create all new jobs. That's nonsense. Now they're convinced that it's new small businesses. So if we're not creating new small businesses and entrepreneurs, then we're not creating jobs. So this think tank in Washington called the Brookings Institute came out with a report this week that shows declining dynamism. Now that means how we're creating new jobs and moving and getting more efficient, because we got to get rid of old industries, get new industries, and compete in the international world out there, that's going on. So now the data they have, and this is from census, they don't make it up. The last 30 years we're going downhill. In other words, more firms are leaving and giving up business, and fewer firms are starting. So businesses aren't starting. People aren't starting businesses anymore. That's why, as they say in this report, they say that individuals and firms appear more risk averse nowadays. So this is why you feel tight out there. Businesses are hanging on to their cash. Businesses are fat with money nowadays. Fewer people are launching firms, and workers are less likely to switch jobs or move. So that's why we feel claustrophobic, insecure. Nobody's creating new jobs and new opportunities. We say, we better hold on to what we have. And we're scared of going out and starting our own stuff, to do that too. And I think we're not going to grow unless we do that. you as an individual or we as a country, are not going to grow, because that's where growth comes from, us doing new things and competing with the rest of the world. Now, they have some recommendations about what we should be doing. One is that we should make it easier for immigrant entrepreneurs, increase the number of visas, for them to come, entrepreneurs come here and start businesses. We're not doing it. Somebody better do it. I mean, this is how America was started. Immigrants came over and started General Motors, stuff like that. Also allow foreign graduates from schools that study STEM fields, that's science, technology, engineering, math. Keep those people here. If you came here to school, man, stay here. Let's give them, let's give them a green card when they graduate, so they, create stuff here for us, because immigrants create twice as many businesses as native-born people. That's right. See, so twice as many. If you're an immigrant, you're going to create more jobs than people who are born here. That's where the opportunities are. That's where the entrepreneurs are coming from. And they also suggest we have to do more of the state and local government. There's a lot of business accelerators going on at state and local government offices to help small businesses start whatever. And your state probably has them too. So that's why I think that we have a big encouragement in our country now to have more entrepreneurs, because I believe you don't even need the government. You don't need anybody almost nowadays to start a business. It's so easy with the web and crowdfunding and sourcing and things like this. It's not like building factories we used to have and building stores. We don't need all that stuff anymore. All you need is your brain and the internet, and you're in business. And actually, here they have a quote here from Clinton, who, President Clinton, he says, "Make change your friend, because to resist it is to settle not only for the status quo, but in a world in which countries and citizens are improving their skills, products, and services, the failure to change will only ensure continued decline." So you're not going to grow unless you change. I mean, that's it, because the world is changing all around us, man. If you don't change, you're left behind. So we as a country will be left behind. So what do? If you're thinking about entrepreneuring, what do you do? Okay, you don't go out and buy a business in a box from somebody. No, you don't do that. You don't go to seminars and they charge you thousands of dollars on how to start a business. No, you don't do that. And you use the free stuff that's out there. And there's a lot of help, because you could even be a business, like instead of getting a job, you could get a contract. So if you're a freelance writer, like right here on my dining room table, I could be making 50, 100 grand a year getting contracts from government, other countries, companies, and things like that. That's available to everybody. So you could be your own business. So that's why you could grow yourself like that instead of wishing on somebody else and commuting and all the other stuff. There's so many ways to start a business. But to get help on any of those, legal, marketing, any kind of help, there's business development centers that help you. Actually, you go to Lesko.com and we have free videos on these government programs that will help you. Go to Lesko.com, and up on the top is non-member section. Just click there and look for the videos of government officials. Because we have government, we have hundreds of videos there. So like the small business development centers, that's it. You watch this video of this this guy who's getting grants from the government to help you start a business for free. Or if you're an inventor or just want to be a freelancer, any of those kinds of things. All the problems that involved, and even show you money programs or whatever to help you. That's all free there. We want to start a nonprofit. There's a video there. Every state has a nonprofit office that helps nonprofits figure out how to be a nonprofit, figure out how to grow money, where's that's from, get the education and training you need to there. So that's all available to you. You don't have to spend money even to figure out how to do this stuff. You just have to do it and use the tools and stuff that's already out there. Don't go on Google, until you really know what you want to do, because there you just be people selling you stuff. Because if you're looking for something, most of the web now is people spending money to try to get your attention, to sell you something to solve it that you think will solve your problem, and it really won't. It's all at the ground level. You have to do this. So get real expertise and information and help to solve that problem. Go out and create a business, even if it's part-time. You see all the videos we have on our YouTube stream, Matthew Lesko 70. Man, I talked to hundreds and dozens of people who part-time are starting this and making $10, $20, $30, $40,000 or even more just on a part-time business. That's another way, to do this. So it's out there. America still is a great country and opportunity, but we have to do something. Well, look at this data. We live in a country it's becoming harder and harder than ever before to have enough money to retire, like we all expect it to do. That's what I thought of, growing up in the 50s and 60s. But more and more people can't retire, because of finances. Look at this data from the Gallup poll here. The expected age of retirement now has increased from 60 years of age back in 1966 to 67 years of age. So now people at one time thought they retire at 60, now it's at 67. And why? Well, they're not industrious. Look at this other chart they have. They don't think they'll have enough money to retire. Look at back in 2002, 60% of the people said they will have enough money to live comfortably in retirement. Now that's down to 38%. So that's like a third of people think they'll ever have enough money to live comfortably in retirement. So retirement has changed, and actually I think it's an old paradigm or whatever. Because back when we had the industrial age, we worked in factories, and you couldn't work that long. Now we're living longer, and my theory is, man, if you're thinking about retirement, man, you just got the wrong job. If you find something you love to do, you could do it till you drop dead on on your desk or whatever it is. I mean, that to me, the joy in life is giving as much as you can in life. And I think that in old age, that's what the excitement in old age is, that you have a lot of problems you have to worry about sending your kids to college and things like that anymore, and you can give more. And so if you find what you really want to do in life, you could keep doing it forever. And you don't have to worry about retirement. That's why I think the easiest way to have all the money you want to have for retirement is find something you love to do. If you're worried about the money in retirement, you got the wrong job. So go find something you really love to do, and you could do it and contribute for everything. Then you have to be one of those cranky old people down in Florida throwing vegetables at the TV and complaining about everything. You're getting up every day and contributing as much as you can. Now, how do you get help to do that? Okay, I think there's a couple of major places. It doesn't take a lot of money. So whatever, even if you retire now and you're like, hey, a year or two of this, what am I going to do? Get to play more lousy golf for the rest of my life? No, you can find something you really want to do. And actually, if you're 55 or 60 or older, you could go back to school for nothing. You get a degree at 65, man. You could become a lawyer if you want, or a doctor. Well, you got 30 more years maybe you live. And at any age, if you're 40, you want to do something new. Anything. And the best place, I think for education is at the community college. Contact your local community college and find out what kind of training program. You get trained for a couple months in something. Become a massage therapist or whatever. It doesn't matter how old you are. Now, here's a website to go and find out about that. It's AACC, that's American Association Community College, NCHE, so that's aacc.nche.edu. And you can put in they have a state-by-state listing there of all the community colleges to find your local one. And I'm sure your local library will help you. Now, let's say you always want to start your own business, any kind of, you want to start a nonprofit, you want to start just to be a freelancer or something like that, and you're not sure of, oh God, what do I need to do for that? What are the taxes? What are the legal stuff and all that kind of junk you want to worry about? Or are there grants to help you do that? Well, actually, the best place, there's free help for that too. And there's an association of thousands of organizations around the country that help people do things like that for free. And they're called business development centers. And here's the website for them. You put in your zip code and there'll be a handful of organizations within driving distance from almost anywhere in America. And it's ASBDC, so ASBDC-US.org. So that's ASBDC-US.org. You put in your zip code, call up the local office, make an appointment, go and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. And they're great people, because otherwise you're going to go on the internet and play around with people, and people are going to try to sell you something with some business that you'll be able to make a fortune at. That's nonsense. Don't get involved in any of that stuff. Go there first. They've gone through this, help a lot of people do this, and it's a good place to start to find out, hey, is this kind of thing for me? And to me, what's neat about our society, you don't need a lot of money to start anything anymore. With the internet and things like this, costs nothing. You just need customers. And another thing too, what people don't realize is crowdfunding. This is how to get free money on the internet if you want to travel overseas and save elephants in India, or you want to start a business, or you have a new idea or whatever. This is the greatest source of money, because all it takes is probably $50 worth of effort on your part, and you could be out raising money. And people raise everything from $500 to $5 million. And actually, we've collected hundreds. I mean, they have 700 videos, and most of them are people who use this, or people who have websites that do this. And you can find out all that information on my YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com/Matthew Lesko 70. Matthew is with 2 T's, so it's MATTHEWLESKO 70. That's my YouTube channel. You see 700 videos that help you for free, show you how to do it. There's no reason by sitting around and complaining, I'm not going to have enough money to retire. No, find something you want to do, that really want to do, you think is important, and you'll do it better than anybody else, and then you won't have to retire ever. Well, here's a lousy sports analogy, but you may get something out of it. I think that so many people are afraid to get up to the plate, to take a swing at the ball, because no, they can't hit a home run. That we want everything easy, want to be able to do everything, that we know we could do it before we can do it, or before we even try to do it. And that's really stupid in life, because nobody really knows what works for sure. We're all guessing, and we all want to be told, oh, this is really going to work, and things like that, and then we're safe in trying something. God, I mean, I think nothing's safe. Everybody's guessing, and so the only way to find out if something is good or bad is to try it. And that's what's neat about today's economy. The new economy lets you try anything for no money at all. The internet, before you used to have to start get hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a factory to make something, to have a store, to do anything. Now you just have an idea, put on the internet, find money, and then make it, if enough people want it. The same way with retail stores. We talked about fashion trucks, and now it's food trucks. Man, food trucks, I don't know about your city, but we have hundreds of food trucks. These people would have wanted to do restaurants before. That would cost $500,000 to start a restaurant. Now for 10 grand or something or whatever, they could have a food truck and be in that kind of business, and probably even have more control of their life. I mean, the food truck business is growing all over. We interviewed somebody before who actually gives a great lesson on how to start a food truck business. Now, here's a guy that I think represents just doing something. He's a young fella looking for things to do. He loves food trucks. So he didn't want one, but he said, hey, what we should have in this country is a website that helps people get money for those who want to start a food truck business. So he's developed this website just for people who want food trucks, so they have a source to find money to do it. And what's nice, he's struggling, it's just starting out, whatever, but his heart is into it. And you see how he loves doing it so much because his heart's in it. Work is not work if you really want to do it. And that's the key in life, is finding something you really want to do, even though you're not positive you hit a home run, because you don't have to be positive. And actually, if you're positive, somebody's probably already made it already. So the trick is to keep trying things to see what really works. You have an idea, it doesn't take much to do it, like he's starting a whole new platform. Not starting a food truck. For a couple $100, he built this website, and he's seeing how that works. So, and I think that's what life is about nowadays, is just getting up the plate and trying to hit something. Man, you can't learn to do anything by sitting at home and analyzing it. You got to get off the couch, do something about it, and see what happens. And then that, win or lose, that will give you more information and better information about doing anything next. Then you'll be more prepared for the next thing. And that's why you have nothing to lose, by trying. And what he's cool at now, when you watch this interview, he'll advise you for free. I mean, he studied all these food trucks business, trying to get and how to raise money on the internet and things like that. So he gives you free consulting even. So he may not be the biggest website doing this stuff, but he certainly has the biggest heart doing it. So take a look. Okay, well, Anthony Myers, man, you're the food truck fundraiser guy. and it's fun, fun-dit.com. Because
right.
People hear me say one thing, fund it. That's wonderful, right? But you started this crowdfunding site just for people who want to be in the mobile food business, right? The food trucks that are around city. And you're in Portland, and you said you got about 300 or something like that there. I know we must have at least that in Washington, but it seems like such an easy way to get in the food business now. You don't need $1 million. And so what your platform is to help to show people how they don't even need investors and find funders through the crowdfunding for that. But you're a real entrepreneur hero, number one, because you've been at this for a year, and it's a struggle to start, isn't it? Yeah. But number two, you're so generous with your time to help people who are thinking about getting in the fund business, right?
Sure, yes. I'm enjoying that part of it. Most of all, I'm enjoying helping. It is a struggle to, a lot the bigger names, of course, get the headlines and people know about them, but it's the fun part is just helping people, even if they go on to use a different platform. I've just been having a great time, consulting and explaining that, how crowdfunding works, because there's still a big misconception about how it works.
I think 0.5% know about crowdfunding in this country, and that's it. And they think that they can just put something on a crowdfunding site and the checks will come flying in. Yeah. But it takes that effort on your time. But it doesn't take a lot of money. I think that's the important thing for people to learn. And by the way, when you say consulting, I assume, are you charging for the consulting yet, or?
No, I'm not charging for the consulting yet.
Okay.
Basically, right now, because I've actually had to turn people away. Not turn them away, but just let them know, hey, it's not a good time to start.
Right.
So I explain to them why, and then I start helping them to build the audience.
Right. No, you're right, because you have to be prepared to do this.
Yes.
You have to have some kind of audience, some kind of following before you just go it on. So this means that your funded.com is really a place, if I'm thinking about being in the mobile food business anywhere, if I want a little cart or a hot dog stand or on wheels or a food truck or a gourmet food truck or whatever, that you're a source now. So if I'm living in Washington thinking about it, I could come to you, number one, to see, hey, what do I really have to know to raise money for a food truck? Maybe even about, what kind of numbers does it cost? And then if I look well enough to start fundraising, that you're a platform just for foodies.
Just for foodies. That's right. Mobile foodies. If it's on wheels, come to me.
Well, and then how about, to me what's interesting too is that you seem to, you got in the business, and so many people think, wow, I'm going to do it. And you put 3-6 months in the site, and you put up the flag, and there's just silence. And then you have to do something else. But where do you find the spirit or the perseverance to pick up again when things don't happen? Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's been tough. The first few months were was great. I had a lot of buzz. Basically, I follow what I'm telling them in my consulting.
Right.
I slowly built a following before I launched Funded.
Right.
And I had people involved so they know that Funded was going to be, coming up, being launched. And the first few months were great. We had some campaigns and a lot of buzz. And then, like you said, it kind of goes silent. But I've just looked at a lot of successful companies, and not all of them are overnight success.
Nobody is. It usually takes 30 years to be an overnight success.
So I use that as inspiration. I I think ultimately I just enjoy it. I really enjoy. I had a blast building this site. I built it myself, and I'm having even more of a blast just helping people who contact me.
Well, I think that's the key in life, though. I mean, at my age, I see that, I try to even suggest people to find something you really want to do, because everything is a pain in the ass. Everything's difficult. Everything, life is shitty, and there's no way out of this thing except going through all that stuff, And so if you choose something you really want to do, number one, you'll have the perseverance to get through there. If the first, bang sends you home crying, then you don't belong there.
Right.
And that's the key to me in life. So that's why, to me, you're a little microcosm of what anybody successful has to do, because also the longer you stay through all those bumps, the stronger you get, the better you get, and you start really learning what you should have done a year ago. But the only way you learn is by doing it. It's sort of like, playing football. You can't sit home and watch it and say you could play,
Right, definitely. That's
so that's what can we say to people that, to explain how difficult it is and what you have to grab to make sure you get over that hurdle, that roadblock, that rejection, or whatever it is that we all have to face. I mean, because that's the key.
Don't go. Well, I know it's easier said than done, but don't go at it alone. I've had my wife actually has been fantastic. She's really helped me, because, again, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times when I've just been down. I'm like, it's not working.
Right.
It's so tough to get because if you don't have the big guys behind you,
right,
marketing dollars, it's tough. It's hard. But she's been great. She's just been just keep at it, just go at it. This is what you want to do. Just keep at it. Stay positive. Like she says, put on your positive pants. And, just keep going.
That's right. No, you're right. When you say that, see, I've been married 3 times, and I had a couple businesses, but I was always married, and I think probably that's why I needed somebody at home, just who thought I was cool when the world was beating me up every day.
That's right. The world will beat you up, that's for sure.
Every day. And that's why another thing, I think I mentioned it before we went on the air, where I think that's what, it wasn't until about 40 or so, I think, that's what, if you love somebody, you really have to do, is help them do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
Not tell them what to do. It's just, if you're asked, you can tell them. But otherwise, you say, hey, honey, what do you want to do? How can I help you?
Right.
And that's love to me, and that's what we're here for, to help everybody, help each other do that thing. Because it is so tough, and that's why you get beat up for free. So why come home and people tell me?
Right.
So it's funny you mention that, because I think myself, I have an MBA in computers, and I had a computer software company that failed in the 70s.
Oh,
But thank God, because it got me out of that. I was trying to do it like they taught me in school, and at MBA school at the time. And
you learn from it, though.
Absolutely. And tell you the truth, failing to me was the best thing that happened to me, because I got out of my head all the stuff that I thought I had to do. Mainly, the biggest problem I think I had was I thought I'd be embarrassed if I failed, and everybody would point at me.
Exactly. Yep.
And then after I had 2 failures, I found, hey, nobody gives a shit. They're so worried about their own life.
People are too busy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then what happened after that, I said, well, God, my first 2 businesses, I didn't have fun at all. I failed. I mean, that wasn't fun. But even going through it, I didn't have fun, because I was doing it like everybody else was telling me. Yep. Then the 3rd time, I said, hey, this time I'm going to have fun. No matter what the worst has happened, I'm going to fail again. What the hell? I've done that twice. And at least you have fun going through the process. And then I think, at least for me, this is why we're question mark students. Since then, I've been trying to find out what's inside of me that I could bring out.
There you go.
And this just happened about 10 years ago. It's to dig and dig and dig, and And when you're natural, then it attracts people that you could really help. So what you're doing with the consulting business, or helping people, I mean, that may be a bigger mission you'll stumble into,
That's right.
that you wouldn't have known without, trying something. You never know. I mean, I'm convinced you just have to, only thing what you did, your job you hate is you can't do again. And you got to go forward, even though you don't know what the hell it is yet.
You never know what life's going to throw. Yep.
Yeah, and it's fun, and to me the fun is trying things. You try and now it's cheap to try. You go and crowdfund, see what works. You try another one, see what works. What the hell? You're not taking out a mortgage.
I think that's what makes life fun. I just keep trying.
Yeah. Oh, that's what, I mean. Then I think about like my kid. I was thinking when they were like 30, like your age now. But if they were coming back from second grade and they lost in a race, say there was a foot race at school. I was thinking if he came back and Max said, "Oh, I came in last, Dad," would I yell, "Hey, you lazy son of a bitch, get out there!" Yeah, and you can't do that, the kid, and that's what we are inside. But we beat ourselves up. Oh, you lady, why aren't you smart enough like that guy? And when in fact, the name of the game is, are you trying?
That's right.
And as best as you can. Well, it's great to have you there. I'll tell you, you keep at it. Having, helping people who want to get in the food business, want to get a food truck.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, my pleasure. No, this is, it's insightful. It's stories, because everybody starting a food business is going to do exactly what you're doing. Have to go through all that. We all have to. There's no ins and outs of that. And so you're there to help and get them ready to go get that funding and food dip. FUN-DIT.com.
Yes.
Yeah, Anthony.
And just if any of your viewers are thinking about, if they're thinking about starting a food business, get a hold of me and
great. Give me a shout. So, and they could always find you through the website, right?
Yes. Yep. Definitely.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for being there to helping other people try to do what they want to do in life. Definitely. See. You want to do in life is helping other people do what they want to do in life. See? So it all goes around and around. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. Thanks for being there.
Take care. Much. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, you're going to start a food truck, you're going to start a website, you're going to do whatever it is. Just start something. What would you do if the boss came in and fired you today? Well, watch what this woman did. Yeah, it did. It really gave her an opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, she struggled a lot in life, and she got a degree in criminal justice, I think it was, and she got this job at a pharmacy or whatever, going along very well. But she didn't have a lot of money and things like that, and they just fired her. But instead of being devastated, she took it as an opportunity. Man, it was something she didn't want to do. It was a boring job anyway. And it gave her, the opportunity to work on something she really wanted to do that she thought was important. She grew up in the foster community, as a foster child. So she knew that, growing up as a foster child, she really didn't have good communication skills. I think it's sort of like a puppy you get from the dog pound, that they're all a little afraid of what's going to happen and things like that, and they take encouragement and love so they could open up and share themselves with people. And that's what had happened to her, and she did a lot of self-evaluation, how to communicate better with people, because she found that she didn't have that because of her background. So now what she did, she took this opportunity of getting fired to start an organization that helps foster kids get that freedom from inside, being able to communicate with the outside world a lot better, and as a result have a more successful life. And she has this, what she really does is she puts on plays, has the kids put on plays. What better way to learn how to communicate with the rest of the world, than going on stage? And they create their own plays too. And it's wonderful. She's got a lot of self-help tips. She even helps large corporations, employees and within organizations learn how to communicate better. So that's what she's out now, raising money, getting free money out of the internet to help her encourage her dream to keep growing? She already is running this thing. She's raising money on the internet to grow it even bigger and bigger and bigger. So watch her. I mean, this is what happens in life. A lot of bad things happen, and that really is an opportunity to do something you feel that is more important with your life. I think that's what life is about, is trying to find out things that are important for you to do, and that you have fun doing it. So watch her. She's a lot of fun. Well, Tamika Anderson, man, with Co-op ATL, and that's co-op with a hyphen in between co and op for Atlanta ATL. But more importantly, you're raising money now to help kids, particularly foster kids, right? Grow and develop themselves and like nobody else can. I mean, it seems like you're the only woman in America that is really trying to find what's inside these kids so they can they can grow to become successful adults. I mean, the politicians seem to be throwing money at problems, and nobody seems to be really paying attention to the kids themselves, right? And that's what your campaign is all about, raising funds to do this, to help. You're in Atlanta, and you have a program now that's so successful. I mean, to see the video of those kids, and how they react to this, it's really, you're training them in theater, and they write their own plays, and it's just an incredible experience for everybody, and creating real great citizens of the world, aren't you? Huh? What made you do this?
Well, briefly, my background is I actually grew up in the foster care system myself, and I lacked social skills among a host of a whole bunch of other stuff.
You seem like the most social animal in the world. And how you?
Well, I had to learn it, and it was because I failed a lot. I would get a job, and I would go from job to job to job simply because I didn't know how to socially interact with people. So I then, I consider myself a smart person. So I said, okay, something is not right here. So I began to watch like the professional performers of the world, like the Zig Ziglars, the Stephen Coveys, the T. Harv Ekers. And one thing I noticed about them was that they knew how to relate to people. So I began to just start reading all the books that they had and just absorbing information from them. And then I, went and got a degree in criminal justice to learn more about people. And what I learned was a lot about myself. And I said, okay, this is why I was failing. And I wanted to be able to help kids to succeed in school, in life, and anywhere by learning how to socially interact with anybody by learning who you are first.
And writing, so you have these kids write plays about themselves, right? And then perform these plays. And that's really their excavation of themselves. They're digging in themselves, and they don't realize it, huh?
Right, absolutely, and then it empowers them because, as a kid, you think about it, every day somebody's telling you what to do, what to wear, where to go, how to be.
People still do that
here,
to me.
Right. So here in the program, they actually have a voice. The greatest thing that I found out that you can give somebody is a voice. So that's what the program does. It gives them the voice to see who they are, be who they are, and bring out who they are.
Wow, that's interesting, because my wife does similar kind of work with young people, gives them a voice, but a political voice. People of non-voting age, she gets them into political situations and give testimony and get laws changed and all that kind of stuff. So you're right, and they all gain confidence and grow that, and they get scholarships because of this work and all this kind of stuff. So you're doing that too, and even younger. I mean, these kids are like 4 or 5 years old. Even you're starting with you, right?
Let me tell you something. I have a funny story about that. I started the program. And I said, okay, 5-year-old and up. Well, I had a parent and she had a 4-year-old. So she was just like, I don't know. So I told her, I said, just bring them. Bring them. Let's see. So now we have 4-year-olds.
So you have to cross out that 5 and put a 4 on top of it. But more importantly about what you're doing, man, just a few years ago, you were working in a pharmacy or something like that. And for 10 years, and finally saw the light yourself and said, God, I got to help more people in life besides pushing drugs.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And I was just like, I did not want to be stuck there, but I
Yeah.
felt like I was. I was
Yeah.
stuck working in the pharmacy, something that I didn't like to do, but I like people.
Right.
So I kind of stayed stuck with it, but it wasn't something that I felt fulfilled in
Yeah.
doing. You know what I
You
mean?
weren't growing at all.
So,
Yeah. So now, I mean, but
yeah.
you're a public speaker. You go to companies and fix up their people to give them social skills. You're helping kids. All that from working behind a counter in a pharmacy, you know? Wow. I mean, that's
Yeah.
night and day, you know? I mean, you didn't go run to become a doctor, you know? Yeah, it's just amazing how you just change your life 180 degrees, you know? It seems, you know, and finally had enough sense to do it, huh?
Yeah, like you come to a point in your life. Plus, anyway, this is the part I didn't tell you. It helped that I actually got fired from that job.
See? Well, that's great. See, I think that getting fired is probably the best thing that happens to you because
It was.
otherwise
That
you
was
stay there, right? Yeah. So getting fired is the best thing that happened to you because you got a career now. You're helping the society. You're helping Atlanta. You're helping kids. You're helping businesses. And you're probably working more than you ever have in your whole life. You're writing books. You're happier. You're giving more love to your kids and everybody else in your life because you're happy. You're not miserable coming home every day, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if people want to help make you happier, so you can make other people happier, they go to opatl.com, right? And they can find your Kickstarter campaign.
Yes, and hopefully make a pledge and share.
Right, but they should at least watch the videos there because I think watching those little kids, you could see them grow right in front of your eyes in a few minutes or so of the video of what they're doing, and just to understand the power of something like this, I think is important for people to realize, if they don't give or not, it's really learning and seeing what's available in our society and people like you that are giving so much, trying to help other people. And I appreciate what you do, Tamika, and I'm so glad you're there and glad you're not a pharmacist anymore. Man, I don't want to take any drugs in my life anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So to see you and your work and help you get your campaign going, you go to co-opatl.com, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, watch the video. Those are kids, some of the kids in my class. So,
Yeah. And the
yeah.
parents that say, I mean, you could see the parents so enjoy having their kids' life changed around. And it's an important population. We got more people in foster care, I think, than, God, so many other places. And these kids need help because they don't get, a lot of them just aren't getting the love they really need. And so thank you for giving that. Thank you again for your work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. So you ready to go out? Yeah, I mean, if you got a boring job, man, it's your obligation almost to find something more to do with your life. And there's so many more ways to do that now, with the free internet money and the whole free money economy, everything that's going on. So you got no excuses. Okay, now if your job is not giving you enough fun, not many that do, or enough money, that's also a problem in a lot of jobs. Here's what you could do. Watch these two ladies who said that the most fun they have is shopping and throwing parties. Okay? And so they started a business out of shopping and throwing parties so they can make money doing it. That's right. And these two ladies, I mean, gosh, I mean, well, what genius, right? I mean, if you like parties, you like shopping, you start a business that way. You make money at it and you do something you love all the time. And so now they have something called the Thread Truck. It's a fashion truck. They come to your house, they throw a party in the truck, and they help you. You know, they have dress-up things in the parties and all that. Or you could use them as a fundraiser. You know, and people want to buy all kinds of fashion stuff right out of their truck. So it's just a fun way. You know, and that's why, see, to me, the thing in life is how do you find things that you have fun doing and make a buck at it so you can feed yourself. Yeah. Because other people will like it. And that's where it takes some imagination to do that. So watch how they use their imagination to make money having fun and throwing parties. Watch. Well, Stacy Kane, man, and you have one of the neatest ideas I've ever seen. It's called the Thread Truck. And this is like a party dress-up truck, but it's real clothes, you know? And really, for women, that you come to your truck and you're at festivals, or you come to somebody's party, you go in the truck, everything's less than $50, you can dress up like a princess. Well, not like a princess, really like a dancing girl, yeah, to go out for the night. That's a great idea. Now, why did you think of something like... Yeah, why this versus why don't you open up just a normal store or something if you like clothing?
Well, this was a much smaller upfront, and it allowed us to really have a party aspect to it. We could move the truck anywhere, and it also we're a rolling billboard for our brand.
I see. So you can be anywhere, anytime. So like, I mean, I could see now, you know, I mean, I live in Washington, D.C., so all these people, you know, working all day. So 5 o'clock, all the ladies can come out to the truck, get an outfit, and you're saying you could dress up for less than $100. No dress is more than $55 or anything like that in the truck?
Yeah, 65, yeah. Nothing to 65 on the truck right now.
Wow.
And we would love for throngs of office workers to come to our
But it makes a great party atmosphere, right? Or even a fundraiser. I mean, you guys are available for fundraiser. I mean, it just, you know,
if an organization wants to do a fundraiser, we'll cut a check back for 15% of the gross sales. And if somebody wants to do a party, they'll get 20% of the gross sales back in merchandise.
Wow. So you really, I mean, it just, the party atmosphere, I mean, people have to go on your website just take a look at this truck. I mean, I guess it's about the size of a small school bus kind of thing, right? But you also got it at a government auction, didn't you? It gets sort of it's like some kind of
we bought it from a guy who got it at an auction.
I see.
On the side of the road.
I see. No, it's great.
It's very reputable, though.
But I know it looks great now. I mean, it really looks like a party truck. It looks like, you know, something. Have you ever been to Burning Man? I mean,
I haven't, but I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, it looks like that. I was there once, and they have all kinds of fun vehicles there. Yeah, I mean, like teacups and stuff like that. So this is, and they have a lot of. Yeah, they have party trucks like this, see, at Burning Man. So that's what I thought of when I saw it. This is like a Burning Man bus, you know. It just can't go fast. But you could park this anywhere. I mean, in front of, you know, a festival for the day or for the evening, or at someone's house. You could drive up for the beginning of a party, and everybody can, you know, choose the outfit for the night to wear on.
That's the goal.
And the insides look terrific too.
Well, I'm kind of an interior design buff, and so is my partner. And so we wanted to make sure it looked like a mobile boutique. So
I see.
The ceiling has, you know, faux tin ceilings, and the floor is like a whitewash gray, looks like hardwood. It has a dressing room. It's legit.
I could tell from the photos. I mean, it looked very comfortable inside and classy, you know. Something, you know, you're not buying out of a back of a truck, you know, like somebody just stole all these garments or something.
No. It's
from Luigi to, hey, this is okay, it's legit. So, I mean, is this something that you have a high class, high powered marketing job in the food industry, and I guess your partner does too. You're both in high powered marketing jobs, and so this is a sideline to solve that itch of yours. Is this what it is?
We both like to shop. We both like to throw parties.
So you get paid for it now.
Yes. So we bought a fashion truck.
Well, I think putting things in trucks. I mean, you see anybody who's awake, in the United States. I mean, food trucks are just a new hot property going on nowadays, and so we're going to have more things like this, I think, in life, food delivery, and we're going to segment the market more, and I think the smaller market for more opportunities and some more entrepreneurs and things like that, instead of having, like, you work for some chains that have hundreds and thousands of restaurants, right?
Yeah.
So if you had a food truck, then you could have your own little deal going. So now you have your own little fashion truck, the thread truck, and that's what I think our country's coming back to, is more like the when we started, we had craftsmen and things like this, more individual products before we got mass merchandise. Now mass merchandise is going away, and we're getting down to more individualized. Whether it's food, we're getting, you in the food business know everybody wants to have a local garden for their restaurant, right?
Yeah. They want it from backyard to your plate.
Exactly. See, so what happened to the big manufacturers of food? They're going away. So I think stores like this, food and shopping, that's the kind of road you're on. That small is beautiful kind of thing that's coming back. And so, you're giving it to people.
We're trying.
Yeah. Oh, it's not easy. You're not a millionaire in 2 weeks. What's wrong with you?
Well, part of the whole bread truck thing is, like I said, it's all about fun and the party kind of atmosphere. But when you come on our truck and Brooke or I are on the truck, it's almost like entertainment as well. And we want people to look good. So if somebody comes on the truck and they put on something that doesn't look good on them, I won't let them out of the truck with them.
I see. Not get out of the truck, gonna hijack you to California.
Yeah, we absolutely want people to.
We lost you for a minute there, Stacy. Let people know that you're in Poland now, doing some business on your day job while you're promoting your thread truck, which is cool. I mean, that's what we have to do. We do anything. That's what I mean. If you have to deliver pizzas to do what you want to do, the important thing is that you're doing what you want to do, and you're out there doing it. Yeah, and so if people need you for a party or want to know where you are, where the truck is going to be next, or use you as a fundraiser or something like that, you just go to the thread, THREAD, truck, TRUCK.com, right?
Yeah.
And they could book you or find you or whatever, and you'll throw a party, make them have fun, make them look good. Right?
We'll make them look good. We'll entertain them. I promise we'll have a fun time. They should definitely check us out on Facebook.
Okay, so the thread book on Facebook also, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you're delightful. I'm so glad you're there, Stacy, because I really think that this is where our economy is going, is smaller, venues like you're trying to do, more personal service to people, and no more mass merchandising anymore. I think we're through with that in this country. So, go ahead,
that your suit jacket would look great on the truck.
I'll come down. I got 15 of these. I can do a whole truck full if you want. You're going to do a men's line, let me know.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, no, you want me to come down anytime, let me know if it'll help, okay?
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacy. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, so sit down, think hard about what you really have fun doing. Because, I really believe that if you enjoy something, you're going to do it better than anybody else. And then that way, if you're doing something better than anybody else, then people like giving you money. That's how you get money, because you're better than everybody else. And you'll only be better at something, if you really enjoy doing it. So fun is a key thing in life.